Hello and welcome to the third in our series of videocasts specifically designed for our clients. Here at Ultimate, we believe in giving our clients access to the experience and industry-leading organisations as being a really important part of being that funder of choice. So I'm Adrian Stalley, Head of Partnerships here at Ultimate Finance, and today I'm joined by Chris Dowling, a Director of the Association of Business Mentors. Mentoring and coaching, although actually very different skills, are topical conversation pieces at the moment, and particularly as the economy continues to open up and businesses are having to evolve in this new world that we're living in. And here at Ultimate, we have absolute commitment to mentoring our own staff. We've recently embarked on a programme to develop our own staff and our own skills in-house. And it's really important that's independent from the line management through to their mentors as well. So we've got experience to draw on. And it's really important that these things can be handled in a confidential way. So many high-profile and successful business leaders talk about being officially or unofficially being mentored and having benefited from that experience from those that have been there and done it. So it's really important to stress that the ABM are completely independent from Ultimate. But we've been working with Chris and his team for a number of months now, as we believe the ABM can offer something that many of our businesses and clients can really benefit from, and certainly to give you access to their experience. So today, Chris will be talking about mentoring, the potential benefits, most importantly, about how to choose that right mentor. So Chris, welcome.
Thank you.
Can you just tell our listeners about the benefit of being mentored and a little bit about the ABM as well?
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Adrian, for giving me the opportunity today to speak about the ABM and the work that we do in the business support sector. I'm very grateful, and the ABM is very grateful, and we're very pleased to be partnered with Ultimate Finance and to make our members in the ABM aware of all the great services and financial services that Ultimate Finance provides. So very much a mutual arrangement. But today we're talking about mentoring, and thank you for the opportunity. The slideshow talks about the power of mentoring, and mentoring is a very, very powerful business tool. Perhaps we could just move on to the next slide, please. Let me just tell you a bit about the ABM before we get into more detail. We're the recognised professional body, professional association run by members for members. I've been a member of the ABM for some 6 or 7 years, and I'm now one of the 3 directors of the ABM, all of us with business background, all of us with business experience. The directors fulfil the vision and the strategy of the ABM, and they take the organisation forward to support members and support members with their clients. We have a, just by way of background for you, we have a general manager, we have an admin manager as well. So we've got some professional support within the organisation to support everything we're doing. We have 4 regions, southern region, really essentially from Kent across to Cornwall, London within the M25, a central Midlands area region, and finally a northern region which runs from some Merseyside up to the Scottish border. We have 1 or 2 members in Northern Ireland and Scotland. The majority of our members are, however, in England, but we are a nationwide organisation. We have members everywhere, and we can provide mentoring support to businesses wherever they might be. Next slide, please. What we do, we're a trade association, as I said. We have we invite membership application from people who have run businesses, people who can demonstrate and show and validate that they've run a business, they own a business, they've been on the front line. That's one of the key criteria for membership of the ABM. We also nowadays offer a professional pathway as well to our members. We have an arrangement with the Institute of Leadership Management for level 5 and level 7 qualifications, which are proving to be very popular with our members and proving to be a good recruiting tool for the ABM to give that professional standing and help us develop the professional standing of the ABM. We lobby and support local government, we lobby and support central government. We're building our relationships with the Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy Department, the Business for Secretary of State for Businesses, Kwasi Kwarteng, and we often speak to Paul Scully, who has responsibilities for small businesses. We also support mentoring organisations which are commercial and professional, who want their members to obtain professional standing, want them to be part of a trade body. We invite them to join, and we have a corporate membership scheme for such people. That's a scheme which we are continuing to develop. Next slide, please, Adrian. Mentoring, coaching, or consultancy. Yes, there are three words which can get a little bit mixed up, can be a little bit confusing, but the ABM, we are business mentors. A mentor uses his or her knowledge, experience, expertise from having run a business, been on the front line of a business, been involved at a senior level in a corporate, to pass that knowledge back to help their client develop and build their business. We don't coach. Coaches are people who are essentially teachers, teach people how to run a business. There might be a little bit of overlap, but we come from different directions. We offer different aspects. We offer different approaches. We also may cross over with consultancy work as well, but I think, as you're probably all aware, consultancy work is very much about a project, about an external person doing a project for a business, working on it, researching it, delivering it, and ensuring it's embedded. That's not our position as mentors. Our position is more ongoing. It's more longer term, as we build a relationship with the business owner, with their staff, to understand, support, and take them forward and help them grow and develop their businesses and meet challenges and seek opportunities and work on opportunities that they might have. Next slide, please. Different types of business mentoring. It can be delivered in different ways. One of the small virtues of lockdown over the past 18 months is that many mentors in the ABM, myself included, have managed to extend their activity, extend their work to mentor online using the mediums that we have, Zoom, Skype, Teams, making distance little or no object. Obviously, we can also mentor face-to-face, and that, I think, is probably in some ways preferable to being online. I do a sort of mix and match with clients. We perhaps meet once every 1 in 4 meetings. We do face-to-face in addition to the virtual meetings we have. We can speak on the phone as well. I'm often on the phone speaking to clients. Not the best way of doing it, but it is a way of doing it. It can be done. Virtual, I just mentioned. E-mentoring is essentially exchanging email information. Perhaps not the best way of doing it, because I do believe the most effective form of mentoring is to talk to the client, is to hear what they have to say, hear the tone of their voice, understand their issues, understand their problems, understand their challenges, understand their opportunities, and explain and talk them through solutions and ideas as to how they can move forward. Next slide, please. Benefits the mentee. Obviously, this is a key part of the process. The benefits that the mentee, the business owner, can obtain from using a mentor. It can be a learning experience. Many business owners that mentors work with are people who are very busy. They're busy working in the business rather than on the business. They need the external support. They need the grey beard, the wiser person to pull them back, to rein them in, to explain to them what they're doing, where they are, talk through various issues. The image there is of Bill Gates and another gentleman who I don't immediately recognise, but to have Bill Gates as a mentor, wow, wouldn't that be an experience to have someone like that? But perhaps that just illustrates the importance of a mentor being someone who's senior, someone who's been there and done it, someone who's had success, someone who's achieved things, to pass that cocktail of success back down the line to the client that they're working with. We can help with being the sounding board. Listen. Many of the clients we talk to just want someone to listen to what they have to say. They've got a frustration, they've got an issue, they don't know what to do. They're on their own. If they're an SME owner, they may not have a business partner. They've got some perhaps very reliable staff, but no one to talk to about the business. And that's where a mentor can come in and be so very effective. We ensure they all talk about being on the business rather than being in the business. The big fault of so many SME owners is they are just on the front line, day in, day out, never look beyond where they're going to, never look beyond the day-to-day, what they're doing. They don't plan, they don't have a structure, they don't have a system. A mentor can help them. If they've identified they don't have that, a mentor can help them work on that and help them build on that and get success and results from it. Trusted advisor as well. We talk about lawyers and accountants and others being trusted advisors. A mentor will be a trusted advisor as well. Working in confidence, working discreetly, working privately with a business owner to ensure they get the best possible results and service. and also being a confidant as well. There are many clients that we talk to who tell us things they may not even mention to their spouse, perhaps, because it's about the business. So the difficult things, the maybe difficult money situation, maybe a difficult situation with a member of staff, or of a particular order, or whatever the situation may be, they want someone to have a quiet conversation with it and to keep it within just between the two different parties. Next slide, please. This is the inverted pyramid, which will perhaps show the scope and range and difference between coaching, consultancy, and the wider service provided by business mentoring. Mentoring can work up and down these arrows, these blue arrows on the left-hand side, providing listening to understand at the top and providing the instructing and telling at the foot. Coaching and consultancy are a lot more narrow than that. So this illustrates the breadth of working with a mentor and the breadth available through having a mentoring service. Next slide, please. Challenging with respect. Yes, I always say to any clients, I know my colleagues do likewise, that we operate in, any mentor has got to operate in an empathetic way, has got to operate in a business-like way, has got to operate in a polite and courteous way. We don't tell the client what to do. We understand what they want to do and help them achieve that. The work is, as a mentor, you're non-judgmental, you're critical in a constructive way. I stress in a constructive way, because the relationship is about achieving success for the client to help them move on from where they are and where they want to get to, and support them in doing so. We want them to develop their own skills by working with a mentor. We want them to think differently by working with a mentor. We want them to change their assumptions and perceptions by working with a mentor. And we want them to feel more confident, have greater self-awareness as well by working with a mentor. They're the results that we look for, and they're the results that they can expect to achieve and obtain from working with a mentor. And of course, ultimately, it's about the performance of their business. It's about improving their sales, their activity, their bottom line, and everything that goes along with that. Staff, product, service, everything that builds a great business that achieves success for the business owner. Next slide, please. That's it. Thank you. Trusting and respectful relationship. Yes. 3 main points: competence, integrity, caring, and I think we probably covered the other ones on the previous slide, leading to mutual respect, admiration. For a mentor to be admired, it's quite an achievement. It's perhaps mission accomplished. Appreciation, meaningful sharing, confidentiality I've mentioned, empathy, vitally important. To have to show a mentor needs to be empathetic. A mentor needs to have empathy with his or her client. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And also provide authenticity as well. There's no point trying for a mentor to run a client up the garden path, or to give them false information, or to fake it. You've got to get it right. You've got to speak as you find things. You've got to speak from your heart. You've got to speak to the client to help them achieve things. You've got to use your experience and use your integrity. Vitally important. So mentors are a vital component in a business. They can help drive a business on very significantly, very successfully, by bringing in all those values and all those factors that are mentioned, especially in that last slide. There we are, Adrian. That's the ABM. That's what business mentors do. Thank you.
And fabulous, Chris. Really appreciate you taking the time to just walk us through that side of things. I think some really thorough information there. Just picking up a few of the points that you raised, and you talk about a mentor being a really important component part. If I just take you back to one of the earlier comments you made, important that we understand, or our clients understand, that the difference between a mentor and a coach. And you talked about a mentor using their knowledge where a coach will teach. So can you just elaborate a little bit more on sort of the mentor definition? So again, the sort of boundaries you operate within.
The key thing for a mentor is to have had genuine business experience, to have had hands-on business experience, of having owned their own business, run their own business, been on the front line of a family business, of a larger SME, or perhaps on the front line of a corporate, being a decision maker, being a key player in a corporate. People who have been there and done it. I think it's important. They're influential on the P&L. They're influential on the balance sheet. They're influential on the strategy, be it for their own business or be it for a large organisation. That I think is absolutely key. With coaches are not necessarily in that position. They are often people who will teach a client how to run their business. They will say to, well, this is what you do. Here's my textbook. Refer to page 55, paragraph 2, and that will give you the answer. A mentor will say, in my experience, in my 30 or 40 years experience of running a business, this is what I've done. I've been in that situation 3, 4, 5 times. This is what I did. This is how I dealt with it. That's what I suggest you do. It's the client to decide whether to take that advice, but that's the role of the mentor, and that's the recognition that any client should have of the work and the role and the information and support a mentor will bring to them. They are using their experience, their knowledge, their good days and their bad days. And I think anyone who's run a business for many, many years, has run their own business, has had plenty of good days and plenty of bad days.
I'm sure I'll return to that in a second. But so therefore, is it very true that you're mentoring the individual, not the business? I think that's really important, clear definition. So it's a very personal thing.
Yes, indeed. That's right. It's about talking with the business owner. And at the ABM, we mostly deal with SMEs. Of course, SME can be a £20 million business with 100 or 200 staff, as we're all aware. But it can be lonely at the top. And even in a business that size, there will be a chief executive there or a managing director there who is perhaps on his own, or has got someone who works with him who may be good or bad, or may not have the skill or the expertise he or she looks for. Therefore, he has to call in an outsider. So yes, experience, knowledge, been there, done it, provide the standard, and be empathetic.
If I just pick up on that, and many of our listeners, Chris, will be business owners, and as you say yourself, that can be a lonely role. So would one of the many benefits, but one of the benefits be just having someone there to talk to?
I think that's right. Yes. Certainly many of the clients I deal with, they have some very specific problems and specific issues to deal with, positive and negative. But I think also that many business owners, again, particularly SMEs, particularly the smaller businesses, there's no one to talk to. They can't go home and speak to the other half. They can't go home and speak to family about it, because it's just the wrong environment. It's the wrong surroundings. It's got to be about business. And of course, those situations can be very, very familiar as well. Engage a mentor, engage an outside third party, and that can be a great benefit to the business. You're calling on a mentor who's got business experience, is looking at the business, is looking at the individual's role in the business, and wants to support that individual in the business. I have many clients who we can be talking business, and we can digress into other things as well. Be they some personal things, or just conversation. I think it's always important for the mentor to get to know the individual they're talking to talk about, I'm a great football fan, to talk about football, to talk about sport, to talk about life, to talk about where we might be and what might be happening in the country, if they're prepared to engage on that, and how in the context of their business as well. So it comes in various forms. I know a lot of business owners can be very frustrated because they have nowhere to go. Yeah. They've got a mentor, they've got somewhere to go, to their trusted advisor, to their confidant, to somebody who can give them some reassurance that what they're doing is right, or can steer them away from what they might be doing wrong.
Indeed, and that's a really important message. So if a business owner is looking for a mentor, what's the process? Because do they come to you and tell you precisely what they're looking to get out of it, what they're looking to achieve, or do you just have a wide, deep dive and try and work out actually what's the capability, first of all?
Certainly from my perspective, the inquiries I get are usually, I need some help, I need some support, I'm doing such and such a thing, what do you think, or can you help me on it? I have people who want to start a business. I have people who have just recently started a business. I've got people who have been trading for 5 or 10 years who have hit a hurdle, or they're at a crossroads, They're not sure what to do. They do need some outside help. They talk to the accountant. The accountant will run the numbers for them. The accountant will look at the numbers for them. That's fine. That's important. They go and talk to their bank manager about funding it. Perhaps the bank, won't offer the advice, the support, the broader surroundings of what might be available. So yeah, they come to a mentor saying, "This is what I've got. This is what I want to do. This is where I am. This is where I'm stuck. What can you do? How can you help me? What do you know? Who do you know? Have you been there? What's your situation? What's your take on this situation? What do you advise? What do you recommend?" And that's where the mentor can, or I just want to have a conversation to get to clear my head on where I am about this situation, as to how I move me, the business owner, and the business forward, how I get up the next rung on the ladder. I know they all sound very sort of generalizations, but they are, they are the scenarios. I got a phone call later today with a lady who I work with. She's had an offer of some work from somewhere. She's not sure whether to take it. She's dealt with these people before. It was not the best situation she had, and she just wants to talk it through with me as to, well, Chris, yeah, it's an offer of business. I can earn some money from it, but yeah. And what do I think to enable her to come together, get the perspective, get the second opinion? Where does she go to from there to help her make a decision? So facilitating that circumstance and that situation for her.
I think you raised a really important message there as well, Chris, that you're not taking the place of anybody. You're not taking the place of the accountant or other people, but you're adding value to that. So you touched on a couple of examples there. Have you got respecting the confidentiality of your clients, obviously, but have you got a particular example of the sort of business you've helped and where you've taken them from and to, and therefore the impact of the mentoring that either you or some of your members have done?
Yes, I'm always happy to refer to a chartered surveyor who's local to my part of the world in East Sussex and Kent. He approached me spring of 2020, just as COVID started. Qualified RICS surveyor, about 20 years experience. He said to me, "I'm stuck. I'm not going anywhere. I don't know what to do. I've got no strategy. I've got no ideas. I pay myself a decent salary, but I'm not." He said, "I'm a procrastinator. I don't get things done." There was no marketing. There was no strategy. His fees were wrong, i.e. too cheap. So with a couple of hours a month on a virtual call, we've got things sorted out. He now has a website. He now does social media. He's restructured his fee. He's reorganized his fee structure as well. He's building new relationships with people as well. He's now outward looking rather than inward looking. And he says to me, he made a very pointed comment to me back in the summer when we were on a meeting, and it really was it's quite humbling as well. He said he was with a client, he was talking to a potential client to take on some business, and he said the conversation wasn't going very well, and he was getting a bit bogged down on what he was going to charge them. He said all of a sudden my voice was in the back of his head saying, "Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it," and he didn't do it because the impact of the conversations that he and I had, the work that we had done, had put him into a place where Chris said, "Don't do it," or Chris advised him not to do it, and he didn't do it. And by not doing it, he was on the right side. Brilliant. So that's the influence that a mentor can have. And I have to say, I was quite humbled by that. It's his decision. Yep. It was him to do, but he recognising the value of the relationship we had built, the work we had done together, the achievements that he had with me supporting him. It put him in a better place. And he says to me now he's more businesslike, he's more professional, he's more selective in what he does because he's got someone to talk to about it. He's got someone who holds him to account in a polite, courteous, constructive, businesslike manner. And he's benefited from it. He's done well out of it.
I think that's a great message and a really good example that I think a lot of our clients can certainly relate to. So when you go into these arrangements, over what period of time is it? Do you have an indefinite period, or are there sort of a fixed period with certain review periods? How does the actual duration work?
It can vary. It's at the client's call on what they want. The gentleman I just mentioned, he and I have been working together since May last year, so we're approaching 18 months. Others can be over and done with in 3 months, and it can be very specific. It can be a particular project, it can be a particular task. It's done and finished and over and done with. But they do come back, though. I do have clients who will return a year or so later, which is tremendous. There's a lady I work with in Kent with a soft furnishings business. I didn't hear from her for 2 years, but in the summer we did a couple of sessions to sort some things out. So, I must have helped her. And she did say to me at the meeting, she's like, I can tell you things I can't tell other people, albeit with a 2-year interval in between. But it can vary. It can vary. There are those, particularly those the one-man bands, who I work with. They do like the regular monthly phone call, the regular monthly update. The bigger businesses, it's very much do the task, do the job, stop, move on, and give me a call when you need something, or come back to me as necessary. So it will vary between 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. It's the client's call. It's what the client wants at the end of the day. And I think it's fair to say that most ABM members will not do not oversupply. That's an important thing to mention. You don't oversupply. It's at the client's call. It's at the client's request. If they say, I want to stop there, you stop. No, last call, or let's make next month the last call. We'll leave it there. That's fine. That's the nature of the relationship.
Got it. I think leading on from that, I mean, in today's world, we're all looking for measurable results from anything we invest in and those sort of things. So how do you deal with that as a mentor? Because getting the tangible results and attributing back to their investment in a mentor must be very difficult. So how do you deal with that whole people looking for measurable results from everything they actually spend their money on?
I look at the chartered surveyor who tells me, and I know he's achieved things, because we had a list we worked through and they've been ticked off. He is happy with what he's got. He has achieved what he wanted to achieve. Other clients where the tasks that they are given by me and they accept by me, or that we agree, I should say, we work our way through them and we identify them having been done and having been achieved and having been concluded.
Brilliant. I appreciate that. And in terms of just explaining a little bit more about the ABM itself, I said it right at the outset, finding the right mentor is really important, because again, it's a personal relationship. So just explain a little bit about your role, about finding the right relationship and how that process might work to find the right mentor for a business.
Well, at the ABM, we do have a mentor match process whereby if we get an inquiry or we get a lead coming into the ABM as an organisation, we will ask various questions about what your business is, what sector you're in, where you live, where you're based. I mentioned our 4 regions earlier. Okay, in the virtual world, I'm in the south. I could deal with somebody in the north by virtual. Some clients will say, I want somebody who's on my doorstep. I want somebody who's close by. I want someone who's 20 miles away so I can do face-to-face with them occasionally, perhaps. So there are various criteria we work with for the mentor match. Some mentees, some clients may be very specific in what sector they want or what particular project they want, in which case we will have to identify people who are members who are suitable from the knowledge we have of them and from their application form and the way we know they've worked. But we will always say to anyone who comes in, here is 3 or 4 people who we think are suitable. Please talk to them, please interview them, so to speak, to find out whether they will match what you want, will be compatible with what you want, whether they will charge the price you want to pay as well. The ABM does not provide the service. We provide the mentors who provide the service on an individual commercial basis. At the end of the day, the relationship is between the mentor and their client, not between the ABM and their client. We are facilitating, we are a membership organisation helping, supporting our members with their individual businesses to improve their standards of mentoring, to improve their quality of mentoring, to improve their knowledge of mentoring, and to provide a excellent service to their clients and to enrich their service and also their contacts as well by having access to a range of partners that the ABM has, such as Ultimate Finance and others we have along the way. No, they are all services which ABM members can offer to their clients in the market for should they have requirements for such services, which we're very happy to do, and with the arrangements we have with our partners.
Brilliant. And that's a great place to conclude, I say, the session, Dave, because you talk about the client having the choice of the mentor, the choice of the duration, almost the choice of the price to a point in terms of how much they want to invest into this side of things. Obviously not setting their price, but I think that's really important, of empowering the clients. And we've been very we've been delighted to be working with the ABM in terms of being able to share this knowledge and actually take this message out to our clients. So on that note, thank you, Chris, for taking the time to talk through the benefits of having a business mentor. I hope that our listeners and viewers have found this video cast very informative, and a subject that we're very invested in as well, which we thought was really important to take it out to our clients as well. And again, anyone wants referring on to Chris or people at the ABM, please do talk to your relationship manager. We're delighted to make those referrals to you. So as part of our passion to really add value for you, our clients, thank you for listening, and hopefully you'll join us again next time.